All right, so we have John Velenti, I think it's pronounced. John, am I correct?
No, you're right there, Kevin.
Okay, so John, what sort of pulmonary hypertension do you have?
Well, I have idiopathic PAH.
Yep,
So
yep. And how long have you, since you've been diagnosed?
about 18 months now.
18 months?
Since the official diagnosis, probably 2 years since onset
Yep.
of condition.
Yep, and you, what's your diagnosis story? How did you come about?
Well, I was a normal bloke, working away, doing my normal sort of thing. Starting to get more and more breathless.
Yep.
And I was thinking, well, it could be age, it could be this, it could be that. But I basically just started getting more and more breathless for things that wouldn't make any reason. You know, I'd walk up a flight of stairs and was huffing and puffing. I'm a funeral director by trade, and you know, I'd be preparing a deceased and doing a dressing on those where normally I'd be able to lift them and turn them and wash them and do all that without a problem in the world. You know, I'd be lifting a larger person, I'd be huffing and puffing and really struggling with what I was doing. So I went to the doctor and general GP and basically said, what's going on? Am I getting old? Have I got a flu that just won't go? What's happening? So over the next 6 months or so, we went through a whole series of tests and did cardiac tests and echoes and everything else, and we ended up being presented to the PHA hospital in Brisbane, and they ended up doing a right heart catheter and said, definitively now you have idiopathic PAH.
Yep.
You also have severe right heart failure.
Yep.
And there we go. That's how we got diagnosed.
Yep. So that diagnosis took about 6 months, a bit longer, initial diagnosis to find out.
Yeah, probably even a little bit longer. By the time being a typical bloke,
yep,
you get out of breath doing certain things and go, oh, I'm just out, I'm not fit, you know, everything else. So probably for a year, well, probably 6 months to a year prior to going to the doctor, I was getting out of breath.
yep,
Then when I went to the doctors, they originally said, well, it could be a flu, go away. It could be this, go away. But it kept persisting.
Yep.
And it progressed from there. So yeah, basically from when I really started getting serious about saying, hey, this is not right, to a definitive answer of yes, you have, you know,
yep,
severe PAH, that's where it is.
yep, fair enough. So what sort of medications are you on for your pH, and do you think they're helping?
That's why they put me on the dual medication straight away. Since going on those, when I was originally diagnosed, they basically gave me both of them straight away. I went on to a dual treatment straight away, and that has gotten me to quite a survivable point in my life.
Yep,
When I was diagnosed, they said with the enlargement of the right-hand side of my heart was so severe, I probably wouldn't see the next 6 months out.
yep,
I think that's why they put me on the dual medication straight away. It's got me to a sustainable level at the moment. You know, I'm quite comfortable. I'm quite active, quite normal
yep,
in a lot of ways.
yep, makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yes, they have definitely. The medication has definitely helped.
Yep, no, that's good. So how do you find that you cope with sort of adjustments in your life, like your work and your friends and your family? How do you cope with that sort of thing?
That has been a bit of a roller coaster, as you probably know yourself.
Yep.
From that time when I sat down in front of the doctor and he said, okay, you cannot work anymore, you cannot do your physical line of work anymore, to having to totally give up work and sell a business and do all that sort of thing, then having the mental anguish of being a normal active member of the community sort of thing, to being able to do very little. But still your mind is saying, well, how about you do this, how about you do that? So it's been a bit of a roller coaster. Depression has come into it from time to time because, I, like yourself, I found it very hard to find my place in the world again. You know, I was so entrenched in my world, and being a funeral director and everything that was involved on that, because it's a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week sort of business, where you're very involved with people. To totally stepping away from that, it was very hard, and I still want to be doing things.
And you probably, because you're still really early in your diagnosis stage, 18 months, you're probably still coming to terms with that.
I am
at
indeed.
times, yes.
Like even at the moment, I'm trying to find things to keep me busy.
Yeah.
I enjoy restoring American cars, and I'm trying to escalate that to some way. So I can do that without being too physical, but I'm still doing something that keeps me both physically active and mentally active.
Yeah.
I'm just not the type to sit down on the couch and go, game over, sort of thing.
And family and friends, your relationships with them, have they been affected in any way, or?
No, I've been pretty lucky. Most of my... I think there is a problem with society in general when we say that we've got PAH or whatever disease it may be. But for us in particular, because we don't look that different, we don't sound that different, we tend to do things almost normally. People go, oh, you're all right, mate, you don't look sick. That has been a bit of a problem, and there's been some friends that go, this is all a bit of, it's a bit of bullshit, isn't it? You're not as bad as you sort of say.
Yeah.
Most of them have accepted it. I've accepted that basically I don't have a terribly good prognosis.
Yeah.
And my friends and family have been accepting of that. So we've made changes to our lifestyle and everything else.
Yeah.
Family was a hard one to put through, and I still think there's some denial in my family about how serious things are.
So that comes down to educating them more as well?
Well, I think the education, we've pushed the education as far as it is, but I think it's part of human nature for someone to say, don't worry, I know it's a bad situation you're in, but you'll be right.
Yeah.
And they're wanting the best outcome for you, but they're not sort of taking the full effect that, maybe things aren't going to turn out as rosy as they'd like.
Yep. Now, do you feel as though you have enough time with your doctors and nurses to answer questions in regards to PH at all? Or?
Well, to be honest, after today's session, which has been really good for me, I've realised that maybe the place that I'm going to at the moment, which isn't a specialist PAH place,
Yep.
is the wrong place to be.
Yep.
I've learned so much today, and I'm still on the learning process. I'm going to take myself to a more specialist place and start pushing the point myself and try and get in there. So where I am at the moment is probably not the optimum place to be, but...
Yep, so you probably feel as though you can't ring the nurse where you are for any help or a question.
I can ring, but it's very clinical and very quick.
Yeah.
It's, don't worry about that so much, or, come in, we'll try and change that sort of thing. But there's no real background support, there's not a lot of education, all those sorts of things. It's been very cut and dry.
Yeah.
Not a lot of understanding. It's been very clinical. It's statistical. This is what you've got. This is what the problem is. This is what the outcome is. These are the medications. And at the moment, on my last visit was, well, we've done this right heart catheter. We'll see you in a month, in a year's time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you sort of left, well, what's happening in the interim.
All right, so time to get you to the right centre, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so just on today, do you have any ideas that you think PHA Australia can do to help you or your family?
Well, it's a little bit different. I've come to this with more of a desire to say, what can I do to help PAH out? And what can I do to become more of the family? What can I do to help you guys? My life is going along okay. It's controllable. But part of this, not being able to work and all the other things, I want to try and find a direction in my life and a purpose to my life. And that's why I want to become a little bit more involved with you guys. And, you know,
Yep.
my life's still going to keep motoring along no matter what. But
Yep.
I'd like to be of more assistance to other people. So it's been good. Thank you.
Sounds good, and we'd be happy to have you on board, mate. So
No, mate.
that's about it. So thank you very much, John, for your input today, and good luck for the future, and I'm sure we'll talk again.
Good on you, Kevin.
No worries. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Thank you.